I am your host, Lia Dunlap, and you are listening to the Oracle on Purpose podcast, where we help intentional leaders clarify their purpose and next steps to create a work and life of significance.
My deepest fear is that I don't belong at the table. Hi, I'm Lia Dunlap, Oracle on Purpose. And Oprah Winfrey said, if you look at what you have in life, and you're always going to want more. She says, if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. Right? That to me speaks so loudly to that experience of feeling outside. I recently posted a picture on my Facebook page that was shared with me from a photographer for a photo shoot I did in Paris. Now, this trip to Paris was huge. And by Paris, I mean the Paris, France. And it's always going to be a memory that I'm going to hold on to for the rest of my life, that experience of going to Paris for the first time. And if you've been to Paris, I'm sure you can relate to the majesty and the beauty. It was just incredible. But honestly, it wasn't like the surroundings or the photo shoot or any of that I really will take away to heart. And really what I'll take away is how much it stretched me. It called me to be seen in a way I never expected. And it called something greater inside of me to the surface. And, during this photo shoot process, we had to get wardrobe and hair and makeup. And the very morning that I was scheduled to do my very first part of the photo shoot, I fell into tears. And by fell into tears, I mean, I was sobbing pretty much uncontrollably, which isn't something I normally do. In fact, most people, especially up to that point that knew me, probably never saw me cry. So here I was, thousands of miles away from home in this amazingly beautiful place, in this incredible mansion that we were staying in. And I completely fell apart. I was hyperventilating, that kind of crying, where you just can't catch your breath. And of course, in the process of all of this, I'm losing all the makeup I have on that I've gotten, dudded up for. And I can't figure out what to wear. I've completely given up on wearing false eyelashes. And, it's like everything that seemed to go weird, everything that seemed that it could go wrong was going wrong. And I couldn't catch my breath. I was overwhelmed, not only because it was such a big leap to go there, but suddenly I didn't feel like I belonged. It was as if all of these things going wrong were proof, right? Proof to me I didn't belong at this table. I don't know about you, if you've ever been in an experience where you finally get your big break and you can't speak, right? You're getting ready to speak in front of an audience or a corporate boardroom, and suddenly you can't find the words to the things like the back of your hand. Key thing that I will always take away was when I found myself alone, really alone. I was completely away from my core, right, support group, my husband, my family, my friends. And I had taken this leap of faith, after I had this huge breakthrough in my business. So I had made $100,000 in a single month. Never done that before. And then at the same time, I was celebrating my 50th birthday, which was super thrilling. Honestly, I was one of those people that was excited to becoming 50, right? I was like, yes, bring it on. And so here I was a few months later in this, not a hotel room, it was actually a mansion. We had a room, but I was in my room in this beautiful hotel, this mansion that they had in Paris. And I just felt like everything was slipping away. And it didn't even make any sense. It was certainly not the makeup. It was certainly not that my hair wasn't right or I couldn't figure out what to wear. Something much bigger was clearly going on. And I realized it was an old doubt kind of bubbling to the surface. It was rearing its head in this really inappropriate way. And I couldn't find the words really even to speak it. I just knew that I had to kind of give in to the process to get to the other side. And I'm very grateful that the women that were there with me were incredible. And they continued to come to me and offer me support and try to help me to figure out what I could do to get the day going. Because of course it was all scheduled. We had a lot of time to, do a lot of things to do in a short amount of time. So we were kind of rushing through this process. And then I started to feel like I was taking other people's time, right? I felt like I was taking up too much room. People had to focus on me. And suddenly it again just kept kind of confirming for me that I didn't belong there. And it wasn't until I actually picked up the phone and called home, called someone I knew me, who I trusted, who I could speak to freely about what I was experiencing, that I got back to my own center. I got grounded and I recognized that I belong anywhere I want to belong. And I did accomplish great things that year. And yes, in my life at 50, I had done so many amazing things that I could stand in this moment and enjoy it if I chose to, right? I had to choose to. I had to choose to come back out, to go past that fake facade of being embarrassed and found out and all that stuff that was kind of growing inside of me. And I had to put it away. I knew that the feeling itself would not go away unless I chose to go forward. I had to take my own medicine. That's the thing that I realize now looking back is I had to believe that I was there on purpose, that it wasn't a fluke, it wasn't an accident, that even in that devastated state, I had to know without a doubt that just like that, in that moment, I was absolutely enough. And, I look at that photo today that I saw on Facebook and I see freedom. I see a woman who's embracing the magnificent life she's living. I realize that I no longer have to worry or hold my breath at the end of the month when I go to pay a bill. I know that I will never be homeless again. I know that I'm living with a man who makes me smile and laugh, holds my feet to the fire, and will take care of me as I take care of him with honesty and dignity and respect. And all of those were things that I dreamed of, right? This experience I was having in Paris was this culmination of these massive dreams I had, this huge vision I had for myself and my life, all coming true. And it took my breath away. And for a moment, I forgot. And I had someone on my side to remind me, this is what you asked for. You deserve to be here. Take your moment. And I did. I stepped out of that room and I stepped in front of the camera. And I'm going to be honest, it took a minute, right, for me to kind of take that space. But when I did, everything changed. I settled. I decided that I deserved to be there. I decided that I was going to be present in that moment. And there was this shifting that kind of settled in as well, right? So throughout the day, when I look back at the pictures, I can see my face releasing that tension, the doubt, the fear. And I know that as I move through all of those layers, I was breaking limit after limit after limit. And that's the beauty of knowing your purpose and having someone else hold you accountable to it. Because when I started to falter, and then I received that message so clearly from my husband that this was what you wanted, I was able to kind of use that as a touchstone to anchor my own strength. Remember, he wasn't there. And the rest of the day and the rest of the week that I was in Paris, I felt present. I felt I got to reap the rewards of that time. And my power increased tenfold easily. In what I could see and hear and experience, I was more powerful because I was more me. And I see this for clients as well. When they come to the edge of seeing what they've asked for, it's so often that they go right past it without recognizing for themselves that they are in the midst of creating the very thing they asked for. And so even though it might look messy or confusing or frustrating or scary, our purpose calls from us on purpose too, right? It's there so that we can lean into it. It can guide us through those gates that may seem unfamiliar and uncomfortable. And if you have a trusted guide along your side, they can help remind you, this is what you asked for. This moment. This calling that you've been hearing over and over again, when you said yes, the universe jumped for joy. And it will start to provide you with all of those things that you need, right? That you need to have or to experience to own it. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. The only time we all have is now. And moving past the idea that you are caged by your limits, right? Those old thought patterns, the desire to stay small when inside you're bursting to be so much more. That dance you play, you can bow out of that dance. And you can choose to step up and take your seat at the table. I promise you, one of the greatest benefits of doing that, no matter what that table looks like for you, is that you bring back to yourself, to your center, an immense amount of energy that can help propel you forward to what's next. So I hope that whatever your table looks like, you're ready to pull up a chair. And if you are, and you need someone to help guide you through that process, to help you bust completely through those upper limits and take that expanded vision that's been growing and growing and growing inside of you and make it your new reality, that you'll reach out. You can do so at the link below, and we can set up some time to talk and see just how close you really are to making all of your dreams a reality. Thanks for tuning in to the Oracle on Purpose show. If you found value in this episode, we'd appreciate you leaving a comment. Also, you can subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet. If you'd like to get clear on your highest vision and next steps, go to oracleonpurpose.com.
See you next week.